A story that the whole world is talking about, it seems like, is the senseless, random murder of Chris Lane, gunned down by two black teenagers, one white teenager down in Duncan, Oklahoma. What's interesting is some members of the family of a couple of those young men say it's the community to blame. Some are blaming guns. But and some are questioning, well, was it racially motivated? Take a look at one of the tweets that James Edwards, one of the young men accused of murder, tweeted recently. 90% of white people are nasty. Hashtag hate them. What do you think?
Yeah. Hashtag hate them. You know, I don't think you could be any more explicit about the racial nature, the racial animus of at least one of these alleged perps. And of course, it's not enough for all of the leftists who would usually be jumping out of their seats to play the race card when these kinds of crimes occur. Mm-hmm. And I think in general, the reaction to this compared to other politically expedient crimes shows the lack of moral gravity on the part of so many people in this country. It's distressing to me. I'm sick to my stomach thinking about this case, and particularly when you look at the social media footprint of these thugs. More is going to come out.
It's inexcusable, too, that our press secretary didn't even know about it. This is Australia. The whole country and prime minister has weighed in about it. They are mourning. They're shocked. They're stunned. It's the #1 story. And Australia has been our chief ally, fighting by our side every single conflict. You could always count on them. At the very least, be tapped into the point where you can comment on this senseless murder.
Yeah, that's right. It is literally an international incident, and the White House has nothing to say about it, although they have plenty to say about. That's right, hadn't heard about it, although they always have something to say about the most trivial things if it serves their political agenda. And, you know, the thing about the left is they're always so quick to talk about, quote unquote, root causes of crime. But we're only allowed to talk about the root causes, again, that benefit them electorally. And the one thing that they don't want to talk about here are the cultural and moral issues that create the kind of animals that are involved in this case. The total lack of regard, not only for the rule of law, but their total callous disregard for the sanctity of life. These cowards, and I don't care what their race is, the color that's involved here is yellow. They were all cowards shooting an innocent, peaceful man in the back as he was on a jog in middle America. What is going on in this country?
Yeah. Michelle, we've heard from Jesse Jackson. He did release a statement, but nothing so far from the Reverend Al Sharpton, nothing from the president, as we were saying. What do you expect will happen? Do you expect that the president or Reverend Sharpton will come out? I want to get that answer, but let me first read this. This is the statement from Jesse Jackson. The recent incidents of violence in America cause each of us to collectively resist all forms of violence in our society, in particular black-on-black violence that disproportionately affects every facet of black life in America. We must learn to live together in peace, or we will most assuredly die apart in our own neglect. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, that was a rather underwhelming statement, and as many people responded and reacted yesterday, the particular phrase that he used was very tepid and passive. He said that this kind of violence is, quote, is frowned upon. Mm-hmm. What? This is an atrocity that everyone should be condemning from the top of their lungs, and this guy can't even get it up with his finger to wag it with any sort of conviction.
Right.
And it shows you that these race hustlers have absolutely no commitment to principle and cannot transcend their own racial, narrow agenda.
At least Jesse Jackson did put out a statement. He put out that statement after he got beat up on the internet, after he said it was frowned upon.
But exactly, Steve.
We have not heard from Al Sharpton. And, you know, in the Trayvon Martin case, if this were similar,
he would be down there
in the obvious ways. There would be a rally. People would have T-shirts. Yes. There would be live shots, all different.
Yeah, well, now we know how to shut him up. You know, I say many times that in this morally deranged culture, with these race hustlers having such prominence that some crimes are more equal than others. And that's what this textbook case is showing right now. It's